Is it really that important to have a substitute or an assistant as a home child care provider? I don't know. Stick around and we'll see if we can answer that question. Hey guys, welcome to Home Child Care Trainers, your YouTube channel for tips, tricks, and training all in the area of caring for children. Here, we make sure we help you to start, grow, and succeed as home child care providers. The question is it really important to have an assistant or a substitute as a home child care provider? And my answer is yes. It's extremely important. There's 3 reasons why I say you should have a substitute or an assistant. The first reason is you want to make sure you have somebody in place in case there's an emergency. There may be an emergency with your own children, your own family. You may have to take a day off because you're sick. I don't know if you have super genes like me. You absolutely never get sick. Thank you, Jesus. By your stripes, I am healed. Let me go ahead and give that to you right now. But you may be someone who gets sick, or you may need to take time off. Instead of running all over the place, you already have a substitute or an assistant in place. The second reason is burnout. You don't have an assistant or a substitute, and you're like me, a normal person, you're going to get burnout, okay? So in order to avoid that or to minimize that, you want to make sure that you have an assistant. Now, your assistant doesn't have to work the entire day. You can have that person come in just for nap time. So maybe you can step away and breathe, or take a walk outside, or maybe you want that person to just close up for you. I know for me, I'm a single mom of 4. When my children get home from school, I like to just step away and dedicate my time to them. So you may want that. Maybe first thing in the morning, you'll want your assistant to work. I am beyond blessed because I have an assistant who works Monday through Friday, and she works pretty much 40 hours a week. Actually, she's gone this whole week to Disney World with her family, and I'm missing her. I'm missing her very, very much, but it's very, very important to have it in place for that as well. And part of that burnout also is trying to decide what you're going to do as far as activities and menus. You have another person to help you with that, to come up with brand new ideas, fresh perspective. So that is another reason why I say, hey, it's good to have an assistant or a sub. And then the last reason, this is a reason that you may not agree with, but it's something definitely for me, is you can minimize your legal issues. And what I mean by that is you have a parent. And let's just say, for example, the parent is upset because of one of your policies, maybe a late fee. And if they are not happy with your late fee policy, you're telling them, you write it up, make sure you check out my video, or even my whole playlist that has to do with policy handbook, and you have to let them go. Well, then they might want to call licensing inspector and say, oh, well, my child didn't get changed, or this happens, just so they can have an inspection done on you. And so if you have an inspector come in to do inspections for a parent complaint, sometimes our licensing inspectors know which ones are real and which ones aren't. And say, for example, they do show up. Not only do you have everything documented, but you also have another person that is there working with you, or that knows how your program works. So like I said, that last piece may not fit in every person's situation, but for me, I like having that extra person who knows how to operate, who knows it's accountability, holds you accountable, holds parents accountable, knowing that you have an extra person there. But I think the number one reason for having an assistant would be, stress and burnout, so that you can take time away, because it does get to you. Being a home child care provider, you're at home all day, you're at home all week. You don't have a lot of holidays off unless you schedule them for yourself. But for the most part, you're spending a lot of time with children. And so you find yourself getting stressed. You find yourself getting burnout. You're doing the same routine every day. You may switch it up and everything, but overall, this is your career. This is your job. You're an entrepreneur. And so when you have somebody else coming in with you, they are bringing in new ideas. They're allowing you to get a break. I've had my assistant for a long time, since I met her in 2010. And I like knowing that when I went out of town for spring break with my children, I felt at peace. She knows how everything goes. She knows how everything is worked. And she just is someone I can trust. She's built that. And a lot of people are like, oh, okay, that's cool. You got somebody to help you. You can leave. If I want to go to my kids' school and have lunch with them, I can leave and go have lunch with them. Again, she is a certified assistant. She can be here. She has her qualifications. She has her training. She has her hours, background check, CPR, first aid, food handlers, everything. And she runs it as if I was here. So I know that there's never going to be a beat. She's never going to skip a beat. She's never going to miss a beat. And I really enjoy having that peace, knowing that I can take a break with my family, knowing that she's going to continue to run things. I go to care.com and sittercity.com. Those are the two places where I find the people that I'm going to work with. Number one, because you're able to see that they already want to work with children, or say it wouldn't even be on the site. And a lot of people already have their background checks and stuff on there, which is where you can do a pre-screening, because it doesn't matter once you hire them, you still have to run background checks and fingerprint checks if it's applicable, as far as fingerprints. But you still have to run it through child care licensing. So even though they may come with one, you'll still have to run it through child care licensing. Another reason for using these websites is because they will already have CPR first aid. Like, most of them already have CPR first aid. Most of them already have experience with children. And so that helps you, someone who has an idea versus trying to go somewhere else. And it makes it extremely difficult. So I go on there and I'll contact them and I'll say, hey, I have a home child care. I'm here. I'll train you. Can I set up an interview? And I'll have them come in and we'll do an interview. And a lot of things people want to know, well, how do you conduct an interview to see who will be the best fit for your home child care? I'm glad you asked that, because we're going to talk about that next. When I conduct my interview, I conduct it as if the candidate or the applicant is actually already a caregiver. I make sure to invite them into the environment of how it would be with children. Normally, if someone says, oh, I love children, I love, and that's all they say, it's kind of like a red flag for me. It lets me know that, they like children, they look cute, they're fun to play with, but I want to know, how are you going to deal when they're screaming and throwing temper tantrums and they're fighting with each other and fussing with each other and all those things? And so you have to be able to ask those questions. Make sure you click on the link below. It's going to be a printout of questions that you can ask and things that you can look for when you are trying to interview your child care provider assistant. I'm also going to do a video that's dedicated just to the interview question, because one of the things I'm going to point out is I want to see how they're going to act. So I will give someone a book and I will say, okay, read the book. And if they say, okay, but brown bear, what do you see? I see a monkey. Look, wrong answer. No. If I give someone a book, I want to see it from the perspective of a child. So I want to see you get that book, and you have to have confidence, and you have to make sure that you are not shy or embarrassed around me, because you're going to be around children. So I want to hear you say, brown bear, what do you see? I see two eyes looking at me. You really have to be exciting. And it's really going to let you know the type of personality they have. Again, if they're very reserved during the interview, they're going to be reserved, or you're going to have to, it's going to be a person that you have to constantly be pulling it. Come on, you can do it. And you already have to take care of kids, so you don't have the time to take care of an assistant. They need to come in knowing those things already. So make sure you give them things and scenarios that they have to act out in front of you, because you want to get to know their personality and see if they can fit with your home child care. Question of the day: do you have an assistant or a substitute? Have you been thinking about having an assistant or substitute? What are your concerns? Comment below, let us know. Remember, we interact with each other. Also, make sure you check out my other video, which is going to explain the interview process of hiring someone. I do have a master's degree in HR, which is human resource management, and there are some state and federal laws when it comes to hiring someone. There's certain questions that you can and cannot ask, and it's very important that you know these things. And so I'll make sure you keep an eye out for that video, watch that video, so that you can be empowered with knowledge on how to interview people. As always, home child care providers, we thank you so much. I said home child care trainers, thank you so much. This is your YouTube channel for tips, tricks, and training, all in the area of caring for children. Here we help you to start, grow, and succeed as home child care providers. As always, like this video, share this video. Mostly make sure you're learning from the videos. Have a good one. See you next time. you.